Hey, buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is a deck spotlight on a Karazhan Tempo Warrior created by the popular player Senfglas. I hope I'm saying his name right. You might recognize that name just because he's such a prominent warrior player who popularized Grim Patron Warrior way back in the day when it was really dominating the meta in the Blackrock Mountain adventure era. But he's back with another new warrior list. This time it's a modification of the Tempo warrior list that was very popular near the beginning of the Whispers of the Old Gods meta. But it certainly has some changes, namely one particular Karazhan card in Fool's Bane, as you might expect from the name. And this is actually a tempo card, unlike most of the cards in this deck, which aren't necessarily tempo cards, and the name Tempo Warrior was always sort of a misnomer. It was really more of a mid-range warrior in many ways, but this is actually finally a tempo card that helps you get a ton of value out very quickly because you can kill 4 minions in a single turn. So you get to spend that 5 mana so rapidly and typically kill much more than 5 mana's worth of stuff from your opponent's board. It's a very powerful, legitimate tempo card, and perhaps finally makes this a true tempo warrior deck along with a few other tempo plays as well. But all that said, the list is really pretty familiar outside of this Fool's Bane. There is a Hogger Doom of Elwyn, which is a little unusual perhaps, but you know, there's a variety of different cards that can be run near the end of this list. Now, Tempo Warrior was pretty short-lived. Dragon Warrior began to supplant it in the meta quite quickly. So this has some similarities in playstyle to Dragon Warrior. You'll see a lot of the same kinds of cards, but a little slower perhaps, a little more removal-based, and not quite as aggressively stanced, but still able to kill your opponents quite quickly. But really has its power curve in the mid-range, in the mid-game, turns 4 to 5, and later with some big bombs. So a good deck that's great at getting ahead of your opponents on the board in the mid-game, leveraging a lot of efficient removal, particularly with Fool's Bane, and just punishing them with some late-game bombs like Ragnaros and Grom Hellscream always is a lethal option. So all that said, I want to go ahead and take this somewhat familiar list with some new cards out onto the ranked ladder and see the Fool's Bane Tempo Warrior in action, just to see how big of an impact Fool's Bane actually has on this list. Now, I really enjoyed playing Tempo Warrior when it first debuted. I did not enjoy Dragon Warrior quite as much, even though it's almost objectively a better deck. So hopefully Fool's Bane gives this deck the edge it needs, because I like this style of play. It's not quite control, right? It's certainly not aggro. It's somewhere in the middle, and it typically allows you to do really cool stuff thanks to various whirlwind effects and solid little taunts. This might be a zoo deck we're facing off against, for instance, which Ravaging Ghoul and Fierce Monkey can both do a lot of work against, so I'm going to keep both of those, even though those are 3 drops, and we do certainly have 1 and 2 drops. So really the 2 key cards in the Tempo Warrior list are these 2 right here, actually. It's Blood's Ichor and Ravaging Ghoul. They're both just so powerful in the right settings. The stuff you can do with these 2 cards is amazing. I mean, a 2/2 for 1 is fantastic, but also doing damage to something is good. So if you kind of think about this card, it's almost like a Cruel Taskmaster, right? It's a 2/2 that does a 1 damage ping. Now, clearly it doesn't give you the 2 damage benefit of a Cruel Task, but a lot of the same kinds of things happen. And it's also got the flexibility just as a 1 damage ping, which isn't even bad as a 1 mana spell. So between the flexibility and the value, it's such a cool card. And then Ravaging Ghoul is one of the most dominant cards in the meta, and probably will stay that way. It's just so good at dealing to your opponent, and so good as a warrior because you love ping effects on your own side of the board. So a lot of ways this card benefits you. I don't know what kind of deck I'm facing off against. It certainly has some zoo leanings, but it may not be zoo. Control Warlocks can certainly run both Abusive Sergeant and Dark Peddler. It's even running like Reno list, so I'm going to save the Ravaging Ghoul just in case, since we do have the Armor Smith armor up, which contest this Abusive Sergeant quite well. And this might be much better against a Zoo style play. And I don't have a read yet. He certainly is life tapped, which is not common for Zoo. That is not Zoo. That is definitely going to be a N'Zoth deck. So we need to start thinking about how to end this game. And Fool's Bane is pretty cool. We'll get to clear all of this stuff. And save a couple charges. How cool is this? I love this card. It's like a Gorehowl that attacks rapidly. I have a dilemma here, right? There's actually Harrison Jones to think about. He would overdraw if he played Harrison. There's also just Acidic Swamp Ooze, which is run by like Reno or N'Zoth warlocks. So I can try to use the charge. I can also just use the Armor Smith. This could die to Shadow Bolt. There's downsides to both plays. I think I'll go for the clear here. Try to get maximum value out of these charges if we can. If not, we might regret it, but we'll see. This could be a tough game for us. They have so many good board clears, and they don't have a lot of ways for us to like delete their resources, which is what this deck's really good at. Oh, did he top deck the Ooze? I didn't even watch. Oh, never lucky, guys. Never, ever lucky, guys. Never. Not once. So I can, like, Blood to Ichor, trade the Armor Smith. Could Ravaging Ghoul, trade the Armor Smith. I guess we'll just Acolyte of Pain, Ravaging Ghoul, maximize the value off the Armor Smith, and draw a card, and then trade. This is going to be a tough game, though, I think. If he gets N'Zoth, we just don't have a way to beat that. We have no Brawl. It's really one of the weaknesses of this deck. It's not quite aggressive enough, I don't think, as compared to like Dragon Warrior. See, like, how do I deal with this? I can't deal with Cairn, and I don't even want to kill it because then it just comes back. Let's see. We have a Slam. We have a Blood to Ichor. We can probably get close to killing it. Certainly with an Execute, we can kill it, but I don't know that I want to. I may just go ahead and slam it and see what we get. We may want to play the Frothing, but we definitely have to kill Cairn if we play the Frothing. So this is 5, 6 mana, 7 mana. I suppose we can go all in on a Frothing and kill the Cairn. That's one route to victory, but it's so susceptible to two things, Siphon Soul and Shadow Bolt. But maybe if we get him to burn the Siphon Soul, the Rag will survive. So let's try to do this, see what happens. Got the second Execute, but I don't want to use it. I'm actually gonna Blood to Ichor my own Acolyte to draw me a card and send it in to draw a second card and then Execute. That maximizes the Frothing damage and gets me more resources in hand. There's no need to save the Acolyte, really, if I'm gonna maximize my draw off of it anyway. Just 1 damage, but we got more than that back on the Frothing, so. So 10 damage in hand. That's pretty cool. If this eats a Shadow Bolt, that's pretty bad for us. But if it eats a Siphon Soul, it may not be terrible. Might be able to work through that. Fool's Bane was pretty cool, though, I have to say. Really like that. I mean, yeah. Oh, man. Same difference, I guess, but I still would have hit Rag, but... Man, if we'd have known, I would have kept it at 6. You don't see BG. Oh, he just overdrew. What if he just burned his N'Zoth? He must have N'Zoth. Oh, he's winning. Okay. Got it. Oh, did he know he was going to get that, though? There's no way he knew. So Rag is so bad against that. I don't think I can Rag yet. I think I'll Hogger, Blood to Ichor the Hogger to try to shut out this guy a little bit. Load up my board some. Maybe eat some more removal. Not a bad play for 8 mana. How much stats do we get? A 10-9 for 8 mana? Plus a lot of potential value. And taunt? I'll take it. Kind of like it. There's an argument I could have saved that for the Acolyte because we're getting a little low on cards, but I don't know. I think I need pressure more than anything. He's going to win the card battle no matter what because he's got life tap. But if we can find a way to win... although, actually, we also don't have a Grom activator anymore, do we? It's just the Blood to Ichor. Is that our only Grom activator? No other whirlwind effects? Ravaging Ghoul, but that's too expensive. So that's a consideration, too. Oh, so good! That's a free feed into N'Zoth. God, what a stupid card. What terrible RNG. That actually inspired me for a video. Good RNG versus bad RNG. I think we can do a video on that. What do you guys think? Man, what do I do? I just cannot play around Sylvanas. She's gonna steal something good. I guess I can run in here and try to put this at a low health total. And then sacrifice into Sylvanas and hopefully kill. Or just give her a bad minion, right? Or execute the Hog Grove, it wins. I'm gonna try to draw some cards off Battle Rage first, just to see. We don't have like a silence effect or anything, so. Might as well just go all out here, right? Oh no, I have to kill the Sylph though. Because, I don't want it stealing a rag, right? Or something better. Let's see what we get though. This will let me kill whatever it steals, which is nice. Oh man. I'm gonna execute that just to limit the amount of dudes it summons. Ugh, best minion always. Best minion always. Sylvanas off the Barns, and then the Sylvanas steals my 7-drop instead of my tokens. RNG, guys. RNG. But we have a decent board, right? It's but you know, it's a warlock. He's got AoE. We don't really have a way to win the game right now. Drawing a lot of cards, which is nice. I just need him to have N'Zoth at the bottom of his deck and we can be okay. But as soon as N'Zoth comes out, we just don't have a mechanism to kill it. Or to kill the board, right? Who cares about the N'Zoth? Particularly since I used an execute. But, I mean, the game is lost at that point anyway, so there's no need to save our execute. Like, that's so silly. Whoa. Goes all in on that. That makes me feel really good about loading up the board, though. I guess I take this for damage, right? It puts him at 14. Puts us, like, sort of close to Grom range. I'm gonna go ahead and use the weapon, too, just because we got the Fool's Bane, so there's really no incentive to keep it. I mean, yeah, I know this can't hit the face, but... He'll be able to Siphon Soul this, but that spends a lot of his mana. He may Reno too, we don't know. I just need Reno and N'Zoth to be at the bottom of his deck. This is not the deck that's good against a handlock like this, or control warlock, I should say. This deck's better against aggro and like, you know, pseudo control other mid range. Not decks that are this greedy. This deck is just so greedy. We can kill the Doomsayer, I guess, and it's probably worth it, right? I think it's worth it, yeah. Do I want to draw off the Acolyte with Slam? I can actually just use the Fool's Bane to kill both minions and go face. And build a big Frothing, actually. Yeah, let's do that. That's the Slam actually will help. Yeah, it'll save one attack. Okay, so that's 10 mana. Let's draw first, see what we get. Actually, it won't help. Oh. it won't help at all. Shoot. I might have messed that up a little bit. I was thinking we could, I guess it doesn't actually matter. We don't want to do this. Let's just do this. I know we lost 1 damage that way, but, you know, do you draw first or do you build your frothing up a little bigger? That's the question, right? Both are the rule. Maximize your frothing damage, but also draw first. So you let you decide which is right. Could have a 7 for frothing, or less decisions there. So he used everything except maybe Twisting Nether. That's the only thing we're really playing into, perhaps. But he used the Hellfire and the Demon Wrath. So if he has a Siphon Soul, he can Siphon Soul 1 guy. He's not Nazothing. Man. So much removal. It's a real pain, bro. Let's draw here. We need cards, but we're quickly running out. It's going to be a problem. Karen would have been a pretty sick draw, but not now. So again, Nazoth just wins the game. For him, we can't beat that, I don't think. Not without a Grom activator. That's Nazoth. No, it's not. Taunted. No, not taunted. I think I'm at the point where I have to ignore this stuff. He's already Reno'd. Battle Rage. Well, okay. Ooh, that's damage. That's 8 damage. Do you think we can surprise him, maybe? I don't know. We're probably just dead soonish. Zoth just takes him 1 turn to win the game. Grom is at the bottom of our deck, which doesn't help, but... This is theoretically 12 damage if the Karen survives. But these aren't actually much better than Grom. Just a little bit. If we could activate Grom anyway, they're a little worse, but we can't activate Grom, so they're actually twice as good. Same mana cost, but 8 damage instead of 4. And I think we're totally out of Grom activators at this point. Both Ravaging Ghouls are gone. I'm not sure what's left in the deck. We only have 3 cards. Not much, though. Not much. This is Nazoth, I bet. I don't know what he's waiting on. Ugh. Ugh, it's a big heal. This is just a losing battle. We're just on the wrong side of a losing fight here. What's he thinking about? Shadow Bolt, finally. It's a good trade, probably. There's the Grom, but how do we use it? There's just no way to use it. Cost reduction. Jeez. What do we do? I just keep running face like a madman. He has 8 plus 5 damage is 13. I could put him to 15. Could do both of these guys and put him to, I don't know, close to dead. He can't Hellfire, right? So I think trading is a losing game, obviously. Yeah, I know he's getting ridiculous Emperor Thaurissan value, but what can I do? I have to pray there's one last Grom activator in here, I think. Or try to taunt up and protect something. I don't know. We're going to be... Oh, that's a Fiery War Axe. If that's the case, we have 7 damage. Is that right? No way. That's got to be... We've only used 1 Fiery War Axe, right? Yeah, I think so. So we might have just put ourselves on a lethal turn. He has a taunt, though, out of Nazoth. He has the 1... Or Jiraxxus. Good lord. I love playing Reno Lock, by the way. I'm jealous I'm not in his shoes. It's a really fun deck to play for me. I love late game control. Just go crazy playing stuff. A 7 mana Jiraxxus nonetheless. He's got a Mortal Coil, it looks like. Oh, Shadow Flame. Jeez. Oh, you just missed 4 damage. Oops. He never attacked with the 4 damage guy. So, I really don't think we can win now. Clearly, yeah, we had it though. That's pretty funny. I mean, I don't know. We'll try, but there's just no way. He's gonna have taunt givers too, so he'll pop out a dude and Defender Vargas, and we lose. If I had a whirlwind effect for 2 mana, we could theoretically win, but there's just no way. He still isn't N'Zoth yet either. He may not be running N'Zoth, I guess, actually. Depends. With Jiraxis, he's got so many threats, he may not even be running it. Rag. That's game ending regardless, actually. I have no way to beat that. Especially not taunted. Well, we were close. We were close. It's pretty much a losing battle right from the start, though. As soon as we didn't get off to a rocketing start, and as soon as he handled our first frothing, I think that game was a loser. But still, pretty cool to see Fool's Bane. Worked out really well both times. I liked it a lot. Not the same guy, is it? No, okay, cool. Hopefully this is Zoo. I don't know. We'll see. This can be good, but I think I want to get some early stuff. Count on that later. When you've got more mana, it's easier sometimes to make the frothing really good. Plus, you have more control over when it happens, basically, later in the game. There's more decision points to make, basically, so. We got the Fire War Axe, but I don't really want to burn a charge on the Argent Squire Shield. I always hate that. It's a tough dilemma, but I think we're going to just hold it. You know, if we get Acidic Swamp Boost, we're going to look like an idiot, but there's so many other things, like this, for instance, that are better targets. Or the Voidwalker. That's fine. We may just, might just go ahead and slam the Juggler as well. It's kind of floats a mana, and we could also just play the Armorsmith, I guess, to punish the Juggles. I think I like that as well. Plus, it sets up a potential Ravaging Ghoul if he decides to trade in, or the Armorsmith lives to trade. But this makes because he could like Abusive Sergeant trade. Flame Imp, okay, that's fine. But this, you know, this just disincentivizes pings from the Knife Juggler because it's like he loses a damage when he gains a damage. I guess we'll. We're at 23. Do we care more about the Armorsmith than our health? Yeah, because it equals health. So I think we'll just go ahead and trade here and use the Ravaging Ghoul and trade here. Gives us 1 armor back, sets up a trade here, but gives us the board back and deals with the Juggler. Next turn, this could be a good play. We'll see. But our hand kind of sucks after that. These are so expensive. We need some plays. If we draw like Hogger or something into... I don't know, we're bound to get some sort of playable card, because we don't have much left at the end of our curve. There's a Hogger and a Cairn, but even a Cairn we could play on 6, so we've got the turn 5 covered. I can't imagine we're in a pickle. Mortal Coil, that's not bad. Saves his Argent Squire. Bodies are definitely worth something. Oh, there is the Cairn. So we did exactly as I thought. Should I save the Slam or just clear and Monkey? Turn 7 is a problem. So I think we'll go ahead and save the Slam. Armor Up is certainly valuable. In any case, when we're the more control style deck. But he has so many cards in hand, scary. Particularly if it's a discard lock. And he's like Doom Guarding into a couple Silverware Golems. That could really put us in a tough spot. That's going to be a good clear. Yeah, I think we'll just have to do this. It's not the best minion to line up there, but I don't really have a choice. Slam will help us kill it, and at least we have something to play, but I'd certainly prefer a more proactive minion than Acolyte of Pain. This one's so slow and long-term value. Smart, I like it. Execute would be a good draw. Fool's Bane would be a good draw. I don't want to eat this damage. I'd rather just go ahead and pop Cairn, so we got to do it this way. And yeah, we had to do that too, right? We had to get through the taunt first, so just clear the board against Zoo. You know, killing 1/1 doesn't feel great, but man, that was a perfect example of how Fool's Bane is ridiculous. Clearing the board against Zoo is always your goal. And that was just a beautiful way to do it. Wow. I mean, we took a lot of damage, right? But okay, we can deal with this. Just go ahead and get Grom out. You know, Zoo can have trouble dealing with this, so I'm going to go ahead and trade this way. I'd rather the Bane take more damage than my face at this point, because Zoo can't really do 3 damage from an empty board, but he may eventually kill me if you know, if there's 2 Doom Guards or something and a Power Overwhelming or a Leroy. So I value my life a little more than this minion's life right now. So just playing ultimately safe. And if he life taps, we could have lethal here. Somehow we don't have... How is it possible that we don't have a board clear? We can maybe get one. Let's see, how much damage do we have? 14. This is 18. So we don't have lethal yet. Let's try to get a board clear. Ravaging Ghoul? No. But Fierce Monkey is a stall. Let's see. What kills me? Probably a couple things, but I don't know. Clearing a minion, you might say, oh, it takes the damage off the board. It's worth doing. Maybe it is, but I don't really feel like doing that math, to tell you the truth. And it's not like a full board matters because we have a taunt. I mean, he could just kill his minions, right? Trade in, but that's not going to win the game. There's no way he's going to have enough damage with 2 cards, even if he life taps. Man, he had a good turn, though, if we hadn't just pressured. There's just no way. He's already used 1 Power Overwhelming. What is that? Soulfire? Gormok. Oh, that was a great turn. Jeez, he was about to flip the game sideways. He actually thinks he's alive, too. Great turn. Thankfully, we do have the damage to just end it. But that was a great turn. What a good Zoo turn. Gormok and Sea Giant. And we didn't have the board clear as a Tempo Warrior, which is insane. But you know what card won us that game? You know what card won us that game? Fool's Bane. Easily. That was the card we needed on 7. Straight up just won the game. What an awesome card. I love it. Because it's a perfectly designed card. I really like it because you can't be exploited for crazy damage. It's not like you can use it to kill your opponent's face, because right now there's no way to silence a weapon. You know, it's a tempo card, but it has a balancing sacrifice, and that you have to take damage, so you can't just do insane things with it. It has to stay within reason, but gives you an advantage. I really like the design of the card a lot. As far as the mulligan is concerned, we have a sort of decent curve, so we just got rid of one of the Bloodhoofs, looking for a more reactive card, like a Blood to Ichor or an Execute, like something that can help me address the board, not just build my own board. Because really, this is a call to Tempo Warrior, but it's halfway about just addressing what your opponent's doing. I don't need a coin yet. The Armorsmith lines up so nicely here. Silent Knight, cool. I dig it. I dig it. That's pretty neat. It's probably going to have a buff on it, right? And it's probably going to trade, so I don't need to coin out the Bloodhoof. It won't help any. So I might as well just go ahead and play the Fierce Monkey. I expect it to die, obviously. But it's going to get me some armor. I'd rather the worst minion get traded into than the better minion. So he didn't actually have a buff. That's not bad at all. This is sort of a turn late, but I want to go ahead and do it. It's going to kill my Armor Smith. But it allows me to clear the board. If this is like a buff paladin, clearing the board, it's definitely going to have a lot of value. I think it's worth it, right? Could actually coin out a Battle Rage, too. I think I might. It's worth 2 cards. It's actually pretty good. We probably won't need the coin again. I'm actually happy to see that other Ravaging Ghoul. Happy to see the Cairn. This is an Execute Activator and just a good minion, perhaps, against Divine Shields. So, and the Cairn, of course, is just super value. Another Horse Rider. Do we Ravaging Ghoul again? Have to sack off another guy. No, I think Fiery War Axe is good. Bloodhoof Brave, sort of good. Might want to save the Bloodhoof till I can activate it, though. I don't know, is Fiery War Axe Frothing Berserker actually halfway solid? Or just Ravaging Ghoul, Fiery War Axe, maybe. That's what is best, I guess, actually. I didn't even see that math. I'm kind of blind, I guess. This clears the board and preserves my minion. I was thinking if I Ravaging Ghoul, I'd have to trade in the 3-2, and it would suck, but... Cairn looks like the obvious play next turn. We lost the automatic Execute Activator, but we're so far up on the board, I can't imagine having trouble getting an Activator. And we got a new one anyway, so... Definitely in good shape now. Not super worried about my health, because we're so far ahead on the board. I just can't imagine dying very fast against a Paladin. I mean, he's got Chargers and stuff, and it's a pretty aggressively minded deck. But we're so far ahead. Jeez, another one. Dude, chill out with those. Yeah, why not? Let's just do it again. I guess I don't want Cairn taking damage. You know, I don't know why, but it feels like we have enough health. It's sort of irrelevant, I think. Cairn could be a 4-3, it probably wouldn't matter. There's like Hammer of Wrath and True Silver, though, so it seems like 5 is much better against a Paladin than 3. And 22 versus 24 as a Warrior feels sort of irrelevant, too. Not sure it mattered which way we traded there. But I think I'd rather have Cairn at higher health right now. Doesn't matter against that guy, though. I think I'll just Ichor Execute here. Play this guy for a minion. Actually, just go ahead and play her, too. And go crazy. I mean, we lose to Quality Consecration, but I don't think this deck runs that. I don't really know the exact list, but I think he's just board-based, and we just dominated his board. So that's how you win. Cool. That was fun. Good game. Had everything we needed there. Just as long as you keep up with their board on more zoo-style board-based decks, you're good. So we'll play one more game of this deck. I'm enjoying it. I really liked Temple Warrior when it first debuted, too. And I think Fool's Bane is an amazing addition. A really strong card. It's like a catch-up card. If you're behind on the board even, just one turn, you can reset. That said, I'm not going to keep it in the mulligan. It's way too slow for that. We have lots of good stuff. None of this is it. Execute's not even good against a Hunter. Battle Rage is a little too slow. We want stuff that gets on the board and starts winning us the game right away. That's a good hand. Fool's Bane's still a little slow. I'd rather have the Fiery War Axe. But the rest of the stuff is so good, we'll be able to keep up. I'm going to coin the Armor Smith into this. And I know it makes my mana a little awkward from here on out, but even a Blood to Ichor on turn 2 is good, and since we have such a big body to do it, the Armor Smith, I mean, it also might let me kill the huge toad here, which I guess I like. Yeah, I guess I like trying to kill the huge toad. So we can Ichor here and trade, and this might die, the Ichor might die, or might take a damage. Actually, obviously I want it to hit the 2/2 when I make this trade, clearly. That would be far and away the best. Or a face would be fine too, but so that's the bad outcome. Because now he gets a good trade here. If this had been at 1 health, it would have wasted the ping. Ravaging Ghoul's not that great, but neither is Frothing. Both just kind of die. Frothing potentially dies easier. Frothing could die to like quick shot weapon and leave his minion alive. Ravaging Ghoul pretty much forces him to kill it with a weapon, which might deny some secrets. I really feel bad about this play, but I think we have to deal with the board, even if it's not a beast. The faster that weapon goes away, the better off we can be too. That sucks. I don't have a way to kill that. It's at least 8 damage. Sucks. I gotta play this into it. It's just so bad. So bad. So bad. He probably won't be able to kill this though. Unless he has another Eagle Horn quick shot or something. Kill command, I guess, does it. That's fine. We went 3 for 3 there. His got more damage in though. The other one. Suppose we have to Fool's Bane, but we're gonna take a ton of damage throughout the whole process. It's 4 off the Toad. Like, we don't have damage recovery in this deck other than the Armor Smith and Whirlwind effects. That might happen. I mean, it's certainly possible, but we need to start applying counter pressure. Ugh, that's actually sort of bad. I need a Ravaging Ghoul. I'm at 12. Oh my god. How can I be at 12? This doesn't even trade into the barns very well. Oh god. I think I'm going to do just an awful play. Because we're at 12, right? The only way I win this game is to apply some counter pressure. Because our hero power is negated. Our hero power doesn't do anything. His goes even with ours. So I have to get ahead on the board. And I think the best way to do that is like this. But it's so bad. It's just so bad. But this does 2 things, right? It gets me a minion, and it gets me Battle Rage. But I executed a 3/1 Barnes, just because that's the only activator I had. If I'd ran this in, obviously it would have died to the 3 attack, so it just felt like that was the only out. Oh god. The other Kor'kron just doesn't do anything. Fool's Bane. Oh, Ravaging Ghoul actually does do something. It clears the board and allows me to armor up. And I gotta do it this way because the ping might kill the Kor'kron, obviously, so we're gonna have to sack our own Kor'kron. I actually want the ping to hit the Ravaging Ghoul. Nope, never lucky, guys, never lucky. So, okay, we're at 6 health. We're operating with 6 health. He has to find, obviously, God, Call the Wild. What was I say? Call the Wild is going to win the game, even if it doesn't do it this turn. It's clearly a victory condition. Yeah, we can't. We're gonna take 4 next turn. I don't have any way to get through this. We can sort of clear and go to 3, but he has 4, obviously. All right. Well, that's a hunter with a good start. Sucks. Sucks. How different do you think that game would have been if the huge toad had rolled on our Blood to Ichor instead of our Armor Smith? I think it would have been a different game. The Armor Smith would have given us additional health, would have been alive to contest that Abusive Sergeant, or at least eat a bow shot, which would have given us more health and denied him some damage. Just a 50, or actually a 33% chance there to kill the Armor Smith. That either the face or the Blood to Ichor Slime would have both been much better outcomes. So, tough. I think we lost that on that turn, or at least certainly didn't help. But that's going to do it for me in the Fool's Bane Tempo Warrior. I really like it. I don't know that it's better than Dragon Warrior or any other of this 47 different kinds of warrior that are viable, but it seems competitively viable. I really like what Tempo Warrior tries to do as an archetype. And Fool's Bane is a perfect fit, and I really just wanted to spotlight this deck mostly to test this specific card to see how it plays, and I liked it a lot. I think it felt great. Every time we played it, it was doing work, and I love having an empty board on my opponent's side, and that's exactly what this card enables you to do. So I'm all in on Fool's Bane. Maybe not this deck list, even though we did win some games. There are probably better warriors out there, but I certainly want to test Fool's Bane in other lists and continue to see this card in play because I think it's well designed and a very nice addition from the One Night in Karazhan set. All that said, if you have any thoughts or comments on this deck, you know where to leave them. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, game on.